focus onto higher education now, and for that conversation I'm joined by Mrs. Fanny Thindwa, and she was giving a paper on talking about towards a conceptual framework, rather, for evaluating factors influencing employability of technical education graduates, TVET college graduates in Malawi. And she joins us now. Thank you very much for your time. I know in the South African context, when you grow up, you always hear, you must study hard and make sure you pass well in matric so that you can go to university. No one ever talks about TVET colleges. So it was quite interesting to hear that Malawi and South Africa share similar ideas where that is concerned. Why do you think that is?
Well, it is very true. Literature has also shown that the catch actually, when you look at TVET, you realize that there is a mismatch between industry requirements and then also what the graduates are possessing. And when you go deep in, you see that there are issues of investment in the TVET and everything. And when you go deeper, you look at the status that TVET has been given. It is seen as like a second choice. So it's like growing up, kids are told, yes, go to university, go do this and that. And then it is like when they fail to go to university, then they can go to TVET, which is not supposed to be the case. TVET is actually a tool that prepares people for employability. So it is actually a first choice. And actually in other countries, like in Germany, you would see that kids are given an option. As they study, they go through apprenticeship and they do other things just to prepare them. And others make a choice of TVET as a first thing. So it's just a mindset that needs to change because TVET is the in thing now.
Perhaps let's give a quick orientation of what we're talking about essentially when we're talking about TVET colleges and what the benefits are.
Okay, so when we're talking about TVET, actually that is an abbreviation. So TVET actually stands for Technical, Entrepreneurial, Vocational Education and Training. So you see it has various aspects. The technical aspects, the entrepreneurship aspects that actually equip young people to be able to go out there and fend for themselves, the vocational skills and the training as a broad kind of scope. So as a broad scope in itself, then it channels in different kinds of skills, different kinds of things that can actually equip the young people, even older people, whoever is actually training. And how TVET is nurtured is in such that when you go through TVET, because it has the practical part of it in school, and then it has in actually industry, and then in school you learn the theory. So as you go to industry to practice the practical, it assumes that by the time you're finishing your education, you are like a fully baked person that can go out there and meet the world.
It sounds like you're knocking a couple of birds with one stone. What sort of opportunities does it present for someone coming out?
It presents a lot of opportunities. For one, you can be self-employed, as I said, because actually you will see that, like right now, I was just thinking, when you look at the industry now, even the beauty industry, for example, when you look at nails, when you look at this, it's a skill that once you acquire today, tomorrow you can do something. You don't really need someone to employ you. We do need, of course, investment in the sector so that when the kids come out, then they find that there are opportunities that can enable them even to build up capital, to build up, to be able to start. But once you get the skills in TVET, there is nothing that can ever stop you. So it is something we should be channeling in, because even when you look at the statistics, for example, like the case of Malawi, you will see that in literacy levels, you look at issues of literacy levels, even look at issues of education attainment, you will see that right now you can have someone who might have not really gone very far with education, but if you equip them with skills, they can now go out there and fend for themselves without you having so much headache.
How can the African peer review mechanism plug in, making sure that we not only get the message across where TVET colleges are concerned, but we actually make an impact in ordinary people's lives?
So there are a number of things that I'm thinking about. There is the issue of curriculum. the curriculum in TVET has to be one that is actually matching with what the needs are out there. Issues of curriculum, the issues of investment. What are we investing in? Are we really putting equipment that will help the young people to be innovative? Because now there are a lot of issues on innovation, but you cannot talk of innovation if you're not willing to put in investment into that innovation. So we need to lobby for things like investment in TVET. Financially, innovation-wise, we need also to look at our indigenous, like in the presentations throughout, it was discussed about Africa and our indigenous methods that we were doing. And you will see that mostly even for TVET, much as it is done in colleges, even outside of colleges, at home, even back home, you see that in the corners, people are doing innovation, people are doing things. There is the African way that they have learned. We need even to get that knowledge and integrate it so that both in the rural, even in the urban, we have these innovations moving in and being documented and being applied and tested. So the Africa peer review mechanism now should go out of the comfort zone now to see that how were people doing things, what was working, what was not working. And right now, from what we had before, how can we improve those technologies to save our people and to make sure that people are really coming out to be creative and more innovative.
Are we equipping our young people with the tools that they need, speaking to Dr. Njeri about the future of Africa, to be well in the forefront of participating in the future of Africa, would you say, through your experience in higher education?
So I would say yes, I would say no. But also I would say that I think we can always do better. There has been a lot of talk. So for example, like the issue of innovation, even the issue of investment, it's something that has been said. Other trends have been done, like maybe equipping colleges and so on and so forth. But it is important that we walk the talk. We should encourage, because if we are saying that TVET is important, and yet we ascribe it the second status, or we see that in the budgets, for example, in the national budgets, maybe we are not providing. It means that even if we talk, what we are really talking, we are not believing in. So we need to really talk and invest in the sector. If we invest in the sector, then we'll see that now things are going to start changing. Because once our kids are very equipped with the skills, then they'll be able to go out there and be able to come up with work that is actually going to be commendable.
And on that, perhaps let's speak to parents who are thinking, oh, I'm not even convinced my child should go to a university. Through the work that you have done, perhaps maybe walk us through some of the examples and shining examples where you've seen the benefits and you've seen the results, or people reaping the results of having gone through that system.
Okay, so I would say that, for example, when you look at TVET, it cuts across so many things. I personally, like in Malawi, there was a time where we had targeted vulnerable young people who had lost parents and they were child-headed households and all those kind of stories. And these kids, they had dropped out of school. So they went through a program that was ascribed by the government of Malawi to equip them with skills to be able to fend for themselves. And that had a lot of results, because once they were given capital and put in groups and they were able to produce things, they were able to sell. And from the proceeds of that, they were able now even to support themselves. So that is one. Number two, just look at South Africa now, even, for example, if you can just look at it, you will see the blossoming industry, the skills, nails, talk of nails, that's part of TVET, it's a skill. Talk of dressing material, talk of hair, you know, that is TVET. That is a skill that you need on daily basis. So if we improve it, it means we are not just improving it for our children now, but we are creating a culture that will continue even in the generations to come, where the kids will know that I have a skill, I know I want to weave, I want to do this kind of thing, and it is what I like and I want to do it. And once they get that confidence, you will see that we are going to expand. look at music, for example, even when you check across, you see that out there, because people have believed in it, it works. So whatever that people believe in works. And TVET is the thing that we must believe in right now, because it has a lot of potential.
Absolutely. We need to like normalize being able to do things.
Yes, yes, we shouldn't discourage.
Right.
There are people that have, in fact, people now can go to university. I know someone who went to university, finished, and then invested in the skills to say, I'm very good at designing. I want to do that, is what I want. So it's about passion, because TVET is about creativity. It's about a skill. So it's about passion. So passion should be the first thing that should be encouraged.
Absolutely. Mrs. Fanny Thindwa, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.